Welcome to the 2023 Entegra Qwest 24R. If you're looking for something that is lightweight, easy to drive, perfect for two people, nice and open, and has a Murphy bed, well, then this is a Class C for you. So one of the things I really love about the 24R is that it is versatile, it's flexible. If you want it for just two people, it's a perfect space. If you want it for a family of four, it's still a great space. I mean, you have plenty of seating, you have the sleeping capability. Of course, it's one of the great things about the Class C in general, but especially here in the Qwest. Now, with the slide open, as you can see, you have a ton of room in here, folks. It is a very open floor plan, which I know I personally love. A lot of other people do as well. So even if you have some fur babies, you have plenty of room for them to lay down too. And take a look at all of the kitchen countertop space. You get awesome, awesome, awesome prep space, especially in a shorter floor plan. This is a Technoform countertop. That is a brand that is, I believe, out of Italy, actually. Really cool stuff they make. The same thing with the cabinets here. This is actually a Technoform door as well. You can tell because you kind of have like that curved wood look on there, which I think is really neat. So that's what they do kind of with the cabinetry all the way throughout. It's all Technoform. Same thing right down here. Open that up for you just to kind of give you an idea of the space. Big win about this is the fact you have space to put a trash can in there, which for me is always something that I enjoy. You have a stainless steel round bowl with a high-rise pull-out faucet. It is a pull-out, which is pretty nice, especially for having, especially for having just a little bit smaller bowl there, I suppose. And real quick, before we continue on in the kitchen, I do just want to come around to the side and show you a few quick things. You do have an electrical outlet over here. It's always good to know where those are located. Right down below is your battery disconnect, as well as what I think it's your power step. Yeah, power step. And then your, looks like speakers there too. Which, okay, so you can flip between inside and outside on your speakers. Then this is your Firefly multiplex system. Cool thing about these, a lot of people don't know, you can actually take these off and it just basically operates as a remote, but this will let you operate a bunch of different things depending on which remote you have. This one you can see a couple different lights as well as your power awning there, master lights on and off. They can just clip it right back on if you so choose, or again, you can take it, set it next to your bed, really do whatever you want with it. Kind of rounding out the rest of our kitchen, though, we have our 2-burner cooktop with the glass cover right over there. I like the fact that it has a side splash. That is really convenient. Kind of bummed there is not a backsplash per se. I would have liked to have seen something a little bit more there, but the side splash is definitely a nice touch. Another thing I want to mention, big window in the kitchen. So, that's always great. I always enjoy having a window, especially when it opens, which this one does. Slides open, gives you some nice airflow. It brings in a ton of light. And then, folks, look at all of the storage space. I mean, are you kidding me? You want to talk about huge inside storage? Love, 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 love all the storage they were able to provide. You also see the TV right there front and center. That's going to be across from the dinette, or you have a good good viewing seat from the Murphy bed and sofa. This is a convection microwave oven, so that is going to double as both your microwave and your oven, of course. And then we have our Norcold fridge freezer. Open that up for you, give you a quick peek. Not the biggest one in the world, so if you do have 4 people in here, you'll have to make sure you use that space wisely for any of your cold goods. Open it up again, just more storage here and more here. I mean, again, folks, in this size of RV, it's crazy how much storage they were able to pack in here. Let's take a quick look at the bathroom, and then I'll show you all the seating here in the main living space. But again, just kind of this whole wall, the whole campsite, folks, is all storage. This is your main wardrobe. You can see the hanging rod there. A couple of quick accessories in here I want to touch on. One will be your ladder, so you can climb up into the cab over bunk. This will actually be your window privacy screen. So you can put those in the window so you can still utilize the cab space if you so choose. If you want to close off the cab, you have this one, which is nice and quick and easy to put up, just Velcros up. And then you have the table here with some cup holders. I'll show you where that table goes in just a little bit. That'll be up kind of near the cab. Mirrored medicine cabinet right there, good space behind that. Again, you have the Technoform countertop, stainless steel bowl, the single post faucet. I'm glad they went with the single. I think it's a nice look. And then just to show you the storage underneath, you do have enough for a pretty thin trash can, but nothing crazy. Toilet paper is already mounted right over here. A little bit of a reach, but again, it's pretty doable. This is, you know, probably one of my knocks on this unit is that the bathroom is pretty tight. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall. You can see that, you know, if I close the door, I mean, my knee is jammed up into it. So it is a little uncomfortable to use the bathroom here. But other than that, again, I love a lot of things about it. Your hot water heater, or rather water heater, will be right back here. You have the TRUMA AQUAGO comfort system, and that is a tankless water heater, which is great. Now when I step into the shower at 6 foot tall with that skylight, I can fully stand up. I don't have to duck down, have the hand wand here, and then the kind of tile looking wrap all the way around with the built-in door. Nice thing about this one is when it does wrap up, it is it doesn't matter if it's wet, right? It's not going to have any bacteria or anything grow on there, and it is mold resistant, so it can just kind of roll right back in there. This will be your main control panel. I showed you the other smaller one up by the entryway. Anything and everything is right here. Of course, your home screen there. You can see your tank monitoring panel. You have all of your battery as well as your gen set. This one does have auto gen set on there as well, so you can kind of set when you want that to power on. Like you can see, like here, like low voltage, it'll automatically fire up, which is nice. All your climate control, everything will be located there. This is actually for your Murphy bed. So they use a EUROLOFT system, which I personally really like. I'm a huge fan. More often than not, they use these for drop-down beds in like Class A's, but I think it's a pretty good use of one here in the Murphy bed, and I'll show you that in just a moment. First, I want to show you the sofa itself. Honestly, folks, it's pretty darn comfortable. You know, I'm really happy with the furniture that they chose in here. I can definitely sit here. It is a little bit of an angle to the TV, but you know, honestly, it's very doable, especially if you're over on this other side. And then underneath, just kind of show you some storage space there. You do have the big additional storage. So to drop this down into a bed, you're just going to remove these back cushions. I'm going to slide them into the dinette here for a moment. And then again, we're just going to use this EUROLOFT. You'll turn the key. Normally you'll have it in the off position. Put the key in, turn it to on. Then we're just going to push the down button, and we have a power Murphy bed. Look at that. Super simple. I mean, literally probably the easiest Murphy bed in the industry. Normally I say when it comes to a Murphy bed, you either get a form or function, right? It either looks good and works awful, or it works really well and looks terrible. This one is probably the closest to having both. Super easy to use. It looks pretty good when the couch is made up. The only downside is it's not very long. I think it's only 70 inches long. So, you know, as a 6 foot adult, you can see that, you know, if I have a pillow here, my feet are going to hang off a little bit. So that's going to be really the only downside to this one. You have the pop-up little chargers over here. There's 2 USB ports in there. It is also wireless charging on top. You'll have one of those on each side. Of course, a window there, emergency exit, and then right up top you have some additional storage. And again, to fold this up, it's just as easy. Just touch a button. Does all the work for you. Really big fan of this Murphy bed. And boom, just like that. And like I said, it's just as easy as putting the cushions back on, and now you are back into couch mode. Then right over to this side is our dinette. This is a really big dinette, honestly, which I like. So again, that's why I say if you have 4 people in here, you can pretty easily sit 4 people at this dinette. And again, as a 6 foot guy, I'll sneak in here. I mean, you can see there's more than enough space here for another person. So I do like that. There's cup holders here as well. There are seat belts. Also, a big one for me is the fact that you have the safety tether. So if you're traveling with smaller children in car seats, you can feel a lot more comfortable knowing that you can, you know, tether them right here. And then, of course, use your regular lap belt for the bottom half. So I do like that option. Also, it's a legless table. I mean, it has, like, you know, these guys here, but it doesn't have, like, your big posts. So that's a big part of being able to fit more people in here as well, because you're not having to contend with those posts there. So again, great extra seating. Obviously, as I mentioned, there's some seat belts there, plus the child latches. I talked a little bit about the table. This right here is where that table will go. You just simply put the post in there. The post is right up here. Put that on top, and you're good to go. We'll get down into the cab in just a moment, but first I want to touch right up top. One of the things I really like about Jayco, folks, is they do a great job when it comes to weight capacities of beds, and it is no different in a cab over. This is 750-pound weight capacity, so you can very easily fit 2 adults up here. It is a power shade, so you can control that up and down. Electrical outlet, USB ports here as well. And then you have these guys. These are actually for your seats right down here. And the purpose of them is when you swivel these around, normally you're sitting with like your knees in your chest because the difference of the cab floor to the RV floor. So this helps raise you up so it sits more like a normal seat. If we take a look down in the cab itself, again, this is the Mercedes-Benz 3500 chassis. This one is on the 170-inch wheelbase. Now, if you look at that center dash, that one is the Mercedes dash, works great. It is touchscreen as well. As far as our power plant, this one's a V6 turbo with 188 horsepower, 325 foot-pounds of torque on here, and that's going to be mated to a 7-speed transmission. This one does have some safety features on here as well, including active brake assist, adaptive cruise, heated captain seats, and rain sensing wipers plus lane assist. So lots of extra features here on the Mercedes, some cup holders, and as I mentioned earlier, both of these do swivel around. All right, so a quick look at travel mode, kind of show you what we have here. This is what the space you'll get as you're going down the road. Obviously, a couple of the big important things is refrigerator access. While you can open it, you can't open it all the way. So, you can still grab a lot of things out of here. Just know if it's a bigger item, it may be a little more of a struggle. You do have access to the bathroom, but again, this is what you have to kind of contend with. You have to be able to sneak through this space right here. But if you can get back there. And then if you flip it around, you can obviously have pretty easy access to the cab over bunk there in case you need to, stop and take a rest, assuming you didn't go for the Class B+ overhead option. Let's take a look at the outside of the 2023 Entegra Qwest 24R. As I mentioned inside, this one is built on the Mercedes-Benz 3500 chassis with that 170-inch wheelbase. You can see if you need to get up and clean the windows, which, man, this one definitely needs a bath, but you have the step right there just so you can get up there. Just makes life a little bit easier. Again, this is the standard cab. If you so choose, you can get the option for the B+, which cuts a lot of that off and gives you some storage up there instead of the cab over bunk. You also have the rot guard. You can see kind of goes all the way across there to help to protect the paint on the front end. Speaking of paint, this one is full body paint, as you would hope, love, and expect. They use Sickens paint, very high-end paint used on a lot of sports cars, right up there with DuPont, another big name. Love, love, love Sickens paint. A couple quick things before we move back. I want to point out the fact that the cab over is one solid fiberglass piece, folks. That is a huge, huge deal. It's something Jayco does very well. Same thing with Entegra Coach here, is that with all this being one piece, you don't have any seams or anything for the water to drive into. We've all seen, Grandma's Class C where it's starting to get water in there, starts to leak, mold, smells real bad. We don't want that. You don't have to worry about it in here. So I love that. Same thing right here, right? They wrap this all the way around so that you don't have a seam right here, just helping to prevent that water intrusion. Love that they do that. This one is prepped with 3 cameras. You have the backup camera as well as your side cameras. That will all be controlled in your center dash in there. Actually, it's in your mirror, but regardless, you do have all 3 of those cameras. Getting in is obviously nice and easy. You have the grab handle here, the power step, so you can just climb right up in there. And take a look at the size of that window. That's something that Jayco's bragging about right now, or Entegra here. Just having that larger window on the door lets in a little more light. I guess lets you see who's at your door a little bit better. I don't know, but it is kind of nice to have. Good storage all the way around. This is just propane here. Open it up so you can take a look at the beautiful tank, I suppose. There you go. There's that. Propane quick connect right down underneath, so if you want to do some grilling out here, you can. Outside speakers, so bring the party out here. I showed you that little switch was inside to flip it to the outside speakers. GIRARD armless awning. Love that. GIRARD makes some really nice awnings, folks. They make them for the big, your big $1 million buses and too, right? Like the box awnings. Excellent company, phenomenal. Have LED light strip in there too. You can see your TRUMA tankless water heater is located there. Coming around to the back, I think they did a fantastic job on the back end of this too. It looks great. There's our backup camera I had talked about a little bit earlier. And when we drop down, you can see the 5,000-pound hitch with the 7-way or 7-pin plug right there, so that if you plan on towing a vehicle behind you, which a lot of people do, you don't want to constantly break camp to run to the store or go do an activity, tow something behind you, this one has the capability to do it. 30 amp plug in right there, just attachable power cord, plug it in, good to go for shore power. Again, this one does have a generator. We'll show you that right up front. I do want to show you that this one also has your slide out topper, right? So that's a great feature to have, because any sticks, pine cones, or anything that are falling down on top of your slide, normally if you don't clean those off, you move your slide in, they're gonna just jam up the top of your seal and destroy it. Nobody wants that. Having that topper up there will help prevent that from happening. And if we drop down underneath real quick, couple last things so you can see some storage here, as I promised. Right there is your AWNING 3600 watt propane generator. So if you need to power this bad boy without shore power, that is what is going to do it. And then just as far as fuel tank, just for your knowledge, this one does have a, I believe, 24.5 gallon fuel tank here on the Mercedes. So folks, if you're looking for a great Class C, whether it's, you're just going solo, you're going as a couple, you're going as a smaller family, I'm telling you, the Qwest 24R here can make it happen. You saw how big it is inside when that slide is open. You get the Murphy bed. It's super versatile. You definitely need to come check one out today. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.